Going in depth here this evening on the Killing on Canebrake murder trial. We're joined once again by legal analyst Grant Varner, Kim Varner, defense attorneys here in Greenville County. Gentlemen, thank you so much. As always, we heard a little bit from you earlier in the newscast, but Kim, let's go ahead and start with you. A shocking day inside the courtroom where we are now hearing from the defense. They gave their opening statement. They had deferred it since the beginning of the trial. They said to the jury, quote, "You're going to hear this was done for a just cause. That's not malice. That's not murder." Your reaction to the strategy, the defense admitting that their client did the killing, but for a, quote, just cause.
First, I was shocked. I was not expecting that, although the thought had crossed my mind. And we had ended Friday with, he had some explaining to do. Well, we got it. He freely admits he did it. But to that extent, they're saying, in so many words, she needed killing. But the judge had just told them earlier, you're not going to get into that. So we have got to build up. It's going to be an appellate trial now. It's the judge versus the defense lawyers. And I don't think it's going to be successful in terms of, you know, this woman engaged in pedophilia, bestiality. She did escort stuff. And the penalty for that is death. I think the judge is probably not going to charge that because he felt it was not imminent, and that this situation, you don't take the law into your own hands. So I was a little shocked at the way they handled it, but they're appealing to the emotions of the jury, and you never know.
That was my next question. What are they wanting the jury now to decipher? They're saying, hey, this was a just cause. So how much confidence are they putting in the jury in them deciphering some of this information that they're about to lay out?
Juries are constantly thinking about this, you know, and asking themselves questions. They have picked up very clearly that the defense wants to get something in, right, and the judge is not letting it in. To a certain extent, that bothers jurors. There's like, why are they keeping stuff from us? You know, if they have faith in us, give it all to us, we'll figure it out. It does spark curiosity, but there have been hints all the way through. There were statements about escort server on her phone. Out of 12 people, somebody has got this put together. There was something really going on. Plus, it was a huge file in the phone. And she needed to be killed, and he did it to defend a child. That may get out. They will, I think, figure it out. Now, that doesn't mean that they've got evidence of it or can properly consider it, but I think they're going to put it together to a certain extent.
Grant, so much of this, we know about these charges that Christina Parcells' fiance faces. The jury has been left out. The judge went against those motions from the defense. There's a lot of talk going on behind closed doors in a way without the jury present. What's that all about? And ultimately, what's going to unfold with the jury present, which is what really matters.
So, and I'll be brief on the technical side of it. What the judge has said is that is irrelevant. This is a murder trial. What she did or did not do or is accused of doing is irrelevant to whether or not she was murdered. This is a murder case. Keep it a murder case. And so that is the reason they're keeping the jury out when they're discussing this, and the reason that these witnesses are now being what's called proffering. So the judge is being allowed to hear some of the testimony and what the defense intends to have them say, you know, these witnesses in front of the jury, because the judge has issued an order that says they can't bring that in. He's trying to keep them from ringing a bell. And the judge is going to measure very carefully what he thinks should come in. Now, the obvious next question is, what happens if somebody gets on the stand and just blurts it out?
That's my next question. Zachary Hughes, the suspect, is expected to take a stand. What's stopping him from saying, this is why I did it, because of these charges?
So the judge's order is what should stop him from doing that. However, to this point, Mr. Hughes refused to provide a phone passcode. Mr. Hughes has been largely defiant with law enforcement. I don't know that there's anything realistically that could stop him from saying that on the witness stand. And if the jury hears that and the bell is rung, the cat's out of the bag. It doesn't matter how you stuff it back in the bag. Everybody knows what's in the bag now. That bell could very well get rung when he takes the stand, and I'm going to be watching intently to see if that's what happens.
Kim, how could the state respond if that does happen?
The state could and will obviously vigorously object to that. They could also make a motion for a mistrial to start it over again with specific instructions. I'm a little reluctant to say they would, because I think that the state feels they've got the case won. Nobody wants to paint a wall twice. Nobody wants to try a case twice. But if they feel that it, made an impact on the jury or it could affect the case, they have a right to move for a mistrial. It would probably be granted.
Grant, real quickly here, what are you expecting to hear from Zachary Hughes on the stand?
I think they're going to do everything they can to paint him as Carl Lee Haley from A Time to Kill. He did this for a reason. You need to be sympathetic to his cause. And I highly anticipate the state's response is going to be, she was murdered. Whatever crime she may or may not have committed, she has been penalized for that. Now he must pay for his crime.
All right, a lot to discuss about this now with the defense now really stating their case. So Grant Varner, Kim Varner, gentlemen, thank you so much. We'll have much more coming up from you on the 10 o'clock news. Thank you.